guys? It is me, boy Kwis, and we are back again with another video. Back again with a new year. It's currently 2025 as I'm making this video. First video of the new year. So happy new year to you guys. Hope you had an amazing holiday season and ready to jump back on the grind with myself as we're here with this new video. And if you're new to the channel, new to me, hi, I'm Kwis. I'm professional Tekken extraordinaire. I am a commentator, competitor, and content creator for Tekken. Been doing this for many years. Had quite a successful 2024 with Tekken 8 and hoping to continue that into 2025, because again, a lot of you guys joined me on this journey. Some of you guys are watching me now started with me on this channel when Tekken 8 came out, so you guys are still sticking around. Really do appreciate that. 2025 was an amazing year, probably my greatest year for growth. Again, a lot of that due to Tekken 8. So again, I do owe a lot of my success to this game, and I'm not ignorant of that fact. I do understand that fact. It's why I want the game to be as amazing as it can be. And with season 2 on the horizon, I have a speculation for the date of around when we're going to see season 2. It's not going to be like for another month or so, in my opinion. I kind of want to get some things off my chest and talk about some things about season 2, because again, I'm kind of worried about what we're going to see for season 2 of Tekken 8. And again, if you are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Really helps me out a lot. We're on a big journey here. You know, I want to hit 60,000 subscribers. We're going to get that very soon. But yeah, you know, I think the growth is just, we're just going up and up. And maybe Tekken continues to go up and up, because I do believe Tekken 8 did hit the ground running. I don't think we can sort of argue on that fact. I think it came out, rave reviews, you know, really amazing. Obviously some bumps along the road, you know, nothing is a perfect product, and Tekken certainly isn't. But with season 2 on the way, there's just some things that really I'm kind of worried about, just to reiterate my point. And it also gives me that I'm sort of struggling with how to title this video as well. Like, I'm just thinking of it in my head. Like, I don't want to be too negative. It's the first video of the year. You want to start off on the front foot, you know, make sure to continue as you want to go on. I don't want to be too dramatic about it as well. Like, if Tekken 8 doesn't do this in season 2, Tekken will die or something, etc. But no, as I think about it, like, I don't think we need to be that dramatic at this point in time. You know, we're now into, we haven't even hit a full year, a full 365 days since Tekken 8 came out, so we're still technically in the first year of a completely new game with new systems. But I do think there are things that need to be looked at, and the fact that some things haven't changed already is kind of a bit of a worrying thing moving forward. But I think one thing to always state as a caveat is they did say quite early on that in one of the first ever Tekken talks that they did, that there would not be any sort of major overhaul balance changes in season 1 of the game. They made that very clear from the start. Season 2 is when they're going to start really looking at the balance of the game and sort of adjusting characters and changing the meta. And with that in mind, I do think there is a lot of pressure on this season. You know, I do think there are some things people want to see. There are some changes people want to see. And me personally, I'm one of those people that's kind of, I want to see way more nerfs than we see buffs this season. I think the guys that are up there are really up there. The guys that are down below, they're doing all right. I just feel like it's really about bringing down everyone else to sort of adjust things as we go. Obviously, we'll never get a Tekken game where everyone's on the exact same strength level. I think that'd be pretty boring as well if that was the case, but we'll never get that. Everyone's on the same strength level, and you know, this matchup's 5-5, this matchup's 5-5, this is another even matchup. I think that could make things quite boring, to be fair. There'll always be strong characters, there'll always be weak characters. That is the nature of balance in a competitive game. I think where my biggest point of worry comes into Tekken is the fact that, I think I even said this when I watched the trailer, is one of the first things I said, season 2 is new moves for all characters. Now that's worrying to me, because we have moves in this game that need to be adjusted already. You know, we have moves in this game right now that need to be looked at and fixed before we start worrying about adding new ones into the equation. You know, Dragunov QCF4 has been talked about. Don't need to add anything extra to that discussion. Nina's Blonde Bomb, her Power Crush, another move. A lot of Nina moves, a lot of Dragunov moves. You know, Yoshi is under the microscope right now. A lot of those moves in, you know, the top 4, top 5 characters, you know, Jin's kit, forward 2, Heat Smash, Zen 4. These are all things that I don't really need to say much about at this point in time. But just that prospect does worry me. And there were 2 things that they showed in the trailer that really are causes for concern for me right now at this current moment in time. Now, the main thing to me that they showed was a cause for concern is, as we see, I have my game open right here, is they showed characters doing heat engages. So a character would do a heat engager. So what's Shaheen right now? Let's do a heat engager. They would do heat engager and go into full crouch. That was something they showed with Jin and Azucena doing. Now we don't know if that's a thing available across the entire cast. Like anyone can do a heat engager, enter heat, and then go straight into full crouch. There's something you can't do right now. You can't go straight into full crouch. That's something that they showed. Heat engager, go straight into full crouch. And why this is worrying is, as you see right now, see this heat engager is plus 17. What that means is you can't really do anything, can you? If you one that gets hit by it, you just have to block the mix-up. You can't really use movement to mitigate the mix-up. You can't really use a power crush to mitigate the mix-up. You kind of just have to block the mix-up. And by adding something like a now crouch 50-50 from that is something that is even more terrifying to much of the chagrin of many Tekken players around the world. And the reason why I have these two characters on the screen is they were both featured in the trailer. Shaheen has shown to have a new heat engager. Here in his sneak step 1-3, this move actually be a heat engager next season. I'm pretty sure that's the move that they showed. This move will be a heat engager. And again, I think it's interesting because a little tangent here. Any character they showed having a new heat engager in Tekken 8 currently has a high power crush heat engager. And these are very, very hot button issues in Tekken 8. A lot of people saying they shouldn't be heat engagers. You know, high power crush heat engagers, they're way too strong. Sheen is one of them. They said Shaheen has a new one, a new heat engager. Asuka has a new heat engager as well. So maybe they're replacing them as heat engagers. They might still be power crushes, but they'll no longer be heat engagers. Or they're just gonna add new heat engagers to the pile. And I show Shaheen here because he's a character that has one of the scariest full crouch mixes in the game, especially when he's heavily plus in a situation like a heat engager, if that becomes something that he can do. And one of the main reasons for that is his guard break. Now, if you've watched Shaheen or played against Shaheen, or you play Shaheen yourself at any kind of level, especially that medium, especially high level Shaheen, you'll see a lot of this, is this move right here. And this move by itself, you know, I don't know how to do it fast, by the way, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm pretty sure there's a fast way to do this, but I just do it like this because I don't play Sheen. Is this move right here. His full crouch into guard break. Well, sorry, it's regular right now. Now, when I enter into heat, it becomes a guard break. If I can do it, there you go, plus 13. And what he can actually follow up with is his 4-2-3. And you see, when he does 4-2-3, he is plus 20. And what that means is Shaheen can just enter a situation where he does it and he can set up to do it again. Obviously a lot faster than I just did it there. And then another plus 20, because at plus 20, you literally just have to guess for your life. And it's not like he just has that, right? Like he has a slide as well. Oh, sorry, I set the bot to block. I was like, wow, great block there, as you said. No? He has a slide mixed up as well. And it's very good at getting out of the wall pressure. It's just all around. We know how we feel about slides in this game. So just a full 50-50 mix from here, right? And now you will see Shaheen's do heat engage it into this quite a bit, right? Like I can't do it. I don't know the fast way to do it. But they will be able to do it pretty fast. But it's a bit easy to detect, right? Like it's not as guaranteed as this. Like there's definitely something I'm doing to not make it as good as you see the Shaheen players doing, right? However, if you can then do heat engager straight into crouch there, and they are still plus 17, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'll be honest. Especially with everything I just showed you that Shaheen is doing there, that is kind of crazy. If they are still plus 17, you can go full straight into crouch, and then go from there. Like I'm not looking forward to that if that is the case. And I'm not alone in thinking that. I don't think I'm a rogue maverick saying, hold on, this is not good for the health of Tekken. And as we said, another character who they showcased in the trailer as well. And what she did, she was another character that did heat engager into full crouch, and she had a new low from full crouch. That's what it looked like. She looks like she had a new low from full crouch. That's what like she has one right now, which is all right. It's good on counter hit, you know, it gives you a guaranteed throw. So it's pretty good, but it looked like she's a new low that does quite a bit of damage and could be quite plus on hit if it connects. Obviously we don't know if it's what is on block, etc., what is on hit, etc. But that's how it looked based on the information that we could see. And then giving this character an opportunity to do heat engager into crouch, the mix-up will then become, is she gonna do, you know, this new low that she has, could do a chunk of damage. I don't know if she went into stance after it as well, I'm not sure. I feel like she might have gone into back turn. But this new power low, or while standing 3, that's really what the mix-up is going to become, right? Like while standing 3 of this, because while standing 3 puts her into stance again, plus 16 on hit. You know, she has great mix-up potential, you know, from this as well. It's quite the situation to be put in. And again, my main issues with heat engages along the course of Tekken 8 has been the fact that, you know, you're gonna be put in a situation where you're plus 17 just because you landed a random move. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes heat engage, you just use them as punishes. That's great. For example, that 16 frames could be a 16 frame punish. They are just use punishes, but in the day, sometimes you just threw out a random move. It just happened to land, and now here you're up plus 17. And if we take Azucena, for example, so she can do this mix up here, this 50-50 here, then into while standing 3 for another 50-50, and then just keep going from there, right? Like the snowball effect that we may potentially be seeing in season 2 of Tekken, it definitely does worry me. Because again, it's like, I think that one of the main things people complain about in this game is, you know, the 50-50s are too potent, the forced 50-50s. You know, I wish I could use movement to mitigate the 50-50s at least. You know, so at a high level, the better you become, the less you sort of have to really worry about just guessing all the time, right? And it looks like they may be ramping that up in season 2. Now, the one saving grace for me is we didn't see if they changed how plus heat engages were in season 2. Like, perhaps, yes, you can now go into full crouch after heat engages, but they're only plus 5. You know, it's just only plus 5. So again, if I'm put in that same situation against Azucena, maybe I can move around this new low, and while setting 3, there's no real mix up there anymore. So we don't know. That's kind of like the main that's what I'm really holding out hope for, because if things stay the same as they are in the trailer, that to me is a bit of an issue. And what's also scary is Anna was the character that will be that was teased for season 2. We did see a teaser for Anna in season 2. She'll definitely be coming in season 2. She's a character who actually had a launcher from full crouch. She is a low full crouch launch. Even obviously she comes as she was in Tekken 7, right? Like, we don't know this, but she had a full crouch. She had a full launching 50-50 from full crouch, right? She had a low, which I don't know, it was a hand swipe. She had a low that would full launch, and she had a mid that could also launch you as well, right? Now both options could be beat by side walking to the left in time, which is one of the things that, like, it's like you could see like the level of someone in Tekken just by like watching them play, you know, in Tekken 7, right? Like, say for example, you see Anna just going to full crouch over and over and over again. You're gonna see a good player mitigate that with sidewalk left. Like, okay, I'm not gonna let you get this mix for free, but they're gonna try and interrupt with a mid check, blah blah blah. In this game, I think they're really limiting counterplay more and more and more and more and more. Like for example, you have Shaheen having a move that's a 12 frame punish is just plus 20, where you just have to take, there's nothing you can do except take a mix up here. Absolutely nothing you can do. To me, this is absurd. You know, so 12 frame punish, he's now plus 20, and he can just go for any mix. There's nothing you can do at that point in time, really and truly, at plus 20, right? And now we're having potentially heat engages, land a random move, you're plus 17, full crouch in someone's face. Like, this is stuff that I'll be honest, I just don't want to see. And I feel like my sentiment is echoed by a lot of other players as well. I saw other players on Twitter like, hold on, are we going to go into full crouch after heat engages now? You know, what is this? I think heat engages being plus 17 has always been an issue, right? From the moment they get the inception of the game, was one thing I was like, okay, let's look at this. Plus 17 for landing a random move is kind of insane, especially with all the health you get back as well. And I don't know how the Sheen players do the guard break fast. Can someone teach me? I don't know how they do it. There's definitely a way to do it, because I'm doing it way slower than like anyone else, any other Sheen player that's ever Sheen, right? Like, I'm holding my crouch for ages before I can get it. There must be some kind of, what's the method? I gotta learn the method, man. Someone will teach me the method one day, but that's besides the point. And it does kind of feel like they're not really listening to the community. If they go in this direction, by the way, like, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but they're not really paying attention to the community and saying, listen, we just want more ways to battle against, because offense is so strong in this game. Like, offense in this game is ridiculously insane, to the point I feel like you could get to, like, actually I don't feel like, I know you can get to like Tekken gods, say around there in this game, just through pure offense alone. I know, because I've seen it. I have played people who are Tekken gods, Tekken king, Tekken emperor, who, you know, they have some insanely potent flow charts. There's supers here, you're forced to guess and then go from there. But like, they can't backdash properly, they can't move around your options properly. Their counterplay is very lacking, but due to the fact that they landed this one random move on plus 17 now in your face, yes, it's like, I feel like offense's point is so strong in this game that, like, even at the highest level, the gap is starting to become way more blurred, if I'm making sense, right? Like, I feel like it's harder in this game to tell the difference, to see high level Tekken than it was in like Tekken 7, for example. And that example I mentioned with Anna is kind of like a bit of a micro reason as to why, right? So for example, if someone's playing against Anna, they see Anna ducking in their face, right? They're likely to just, okay, I'm gonna move, you know, I'm gonna use movement, I'm gonna time my sidewalk, beat both options, then we'll launch her for trying that, right? In this game, you can't really do that as much. There are many times, Shaheen, for example, you're put in a situation where you simply have to guess. Like, say for example, you're in like this situation. Like, let's recreate a situation here, right? So say you're at this much health, Shaheen lands a 4-2-3, and now it's like at plus 20. You just have to guess for game, really and truly. Like, there are so many times that, okay, it's like if I do down forward 1, or if I do down 4, you're dead. It's like, do I do down for 1? Do I do down 3? It really doesn't matter. Either way, you're dead. Because I've put you in a situation where you're plus 20. I could have just thrown this out. It could have just been a punish. Who knows? You did something that was minus 12. I punished you, and now you have 3 health left, and it's over with a poke. I feel like in this situation, I feel like no move should be plus 20. I can't think of a reason for any move in this game, let alone a 12 frame punish, to be doing this to you. I can't perceive it. I can't perceive it. I can't understand it. My brain doesn't compute with it, right? So again, these are the reasons why when it comes to season 2 of Tekken 8, I'm kind of worried. You know, you have heat engages into instant full crouch. They're saying new moves for all characters when we already have moves in this game that need to be looked at severely. Dragunov's QCF4 is probably the singular most nerfed move in this game, and still a top 5 move. That's insane. One thing I would like to see, though, I'll probably do a video talking about this, is one thing they did to Dragunov is something I want to see done for the cast across the board. And I'll use Lars as an example, and when I make this video, Lars will be the example. This will be the example I'll use for Lars. But I think there are nerfs that every single character needs to get, which they probably won't get. I think they're going to be looking at buffs mainly than nerfs when it comes down to it. But the singular best nerf they did to Dragunov is when they made it so that you can block and then sidewalk, please. The second hit of his back 4-3 just had no tracking, because before they nerfed this, even if you step the back 4-3, the 3 was basically homing, right? Like, it would catch you like no matter where you went. But we're now at a point where the back 4-3, like, it has 0 tracking, right? Like, we're at a point now where like that second hit is just never going to track you ever. Now, in comparison, you have Lars, for example, and I only use Lars as an example because it's one I just see very often. Now, Lars is 1-1, for example. Like, this is, I'm not trying to single out Lars here, but this is something I feel like a lot of the cast will do in this game. And it's hard to set up in, like, can I do let me set up with the down forward one. It's something that other members of the cast do as well. So I don't want Lars players to feel like I'm attacking you guys. When I do attack you guys, you'll know. But like, if you take this, for example, now it's quite hard to set up, like in a game, this will happen very often. It's hard to set up in like a simulated training arena, but you can like step the first hit, and the second hit does a very good job of like still tracking you, right? It's still keeping you in check, right? But I feel like just the last hit hitting there is an example of like what I'm saying, right? You see this last hit, I keep sidewalking, and then it is just still, you know, he's still realigning, he is still finding me. Even it doesn't matter which way I go, right? Obviously I can just sort of stop, block, and then punish. Find happening here, because again, you see the way the last hit is just seems to be practically homing. Unless, let me add an extra sidestep in there. There we go. Right, so that's just super extra movement. But again, this is in practice mode. Typically when I play last players in game, it's the second hit that's striking me, not the third hit. But it's like, it's hard to set up in like a simulated training environment, but trust me, it happens. But what you could find happening because of this is that you're trying to use steps. So you successfully step the first hit, perhaps you want to launch, you want to punish on the third hit, or you want to punish on the whiffs that you have there, and then the last hit is going to destroy you, right? You might have to go faster if you want to get the interrupt, right? But again, you want to launch, get a meaningful punish, and bam, that third hit connects. But typically what happens to me is the second hit connects, and when the second hit hits of the string, the rest of it is all guaranteed. So that's why it can be annoying, right? I just can't sell tap in the practice mode. But you guys have to believe me, it happens. Okay, it happens very frequently to me. I said the first hit, the second hit connects, something like that. It'll kind of happen like that, you know. I'm doing this. I'm in a simulated training environment. It's hard to set up the real world conditions, but again, this is what happens, right? Like I'll step, the jab will whiff, I'll try and whiff punish. I see the strings still coming out, and I'll get hit. That's typically what happens. I feel like with moves like this, with strings like this, the second and third hit should not have, you know, as good tracking as they do. Another example I can do on myself, so last players don't feel so left out. Sparring's down 3-4 can do the same thing if you step it the wrong way, because the down 3 doesn't have good tracking, but the 4, again, this will be another one that'll be hard to self-impress, but essentially I'll just say it. If you go to the right instead of the left, down 3 doesn't have very good tracking by itself, but the 4 will track more if you go to the right. So if you go to the right on it, the 4 can track you, and the second it will also be counter hit as well, right? If you try and push a button and you try and do something. So that's something that can happen. I just feel like if you're stepping the first hit of strings, you're sidewalking, the rest of the strings shouldn't keep clipping you like this and really hamper, because again, it's why people don't really want to move in this game. Movement is a huge part of Tekken. I feel like we should be strengthening that. You know, it's one of the strengths of the game, one of the uniquenesses is that a word? One of the unique things about Tekken 8, being like the only 3D fighter as well that's just really up there in the market. Obviously Virtua Fighter 6 is on the way. I'm very excited for that. The trailer they showed at CES was really cool. Concept wise, obviously it wasn't like real gameplay, but like it's like an in-engine concept style. So I'm excited to see what the full game looks like when it does come out. When more gameplay of that comes out, we'll be taking a look at it. But yeah, I feel like we should really celebrating the unique strengths of Tekken, make the movement as strong as it can be. I feel like what Lily and Alyssa are doing, like, I'm not saying give that to the whole cast. In fact, I feel like Alyssa's backdash should be nerfed somewhat. I'll get into that at another moment in time. But yeah, I just feel like it's weird how they buffed movement in Tekken 8, but also improve the tracking on so many things to make it redundant. So in my opinion, let's strengthen, make it easy to move around this game. Let's not create more forced 50-50s with stuff like full crouch mix after heat engage. And you know, I'm just not looking forward to the prospect of that happening. But if they do end up nerfing heat engages to where they're not as maybe +5, +6, +7, I would be more inclined to buy in on that, but I would still have to see the implications of that. But with all that being said, I do believe that is going to be all from me on this video. Thank you guys for watching this video, especially if you made it to this part. Really do appreciate that you watched all the way through. Going to be big on the content grind this year. 2025 will want to reach new heights, so thank you guys that, you know, is going to be joining me. Thank you to everyone that's going to be joining me on this journey. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, Tony, Trent, pressure. What pressure? Pressure is battalions. It's a different generation. They don't feel it. Push up. How confident were they?